I get a little cursy in this one, so you may want to wear headphones or watch it when there's no littles around. And if you're someone who doesn't like cursing, I feel like it's warranted in this case, and I'm sorry that you don't like it, but I had to say what I had to say. This is gonna be a heavy video. I feel like all of them have been heavy lately, but such is life. So in today's video, we're mostly going to be talking about mental health. We're also going to be talking about what's going on with all this genetic testing, etc. And I'm going to talk to you about some realizations I've had and kind of just talk you through that and work through that with you here in this video. So yeah, do I have anything positive to say before we get into this video? We went back to see my aunt last weekend. My cousin was in town doing comedy, so we went to a comedy show and we were able to visit with family all day, and it was such a really good day. We had a good time. Rob got more familiar with them and had an opportunity to sit and talk football and stuff with my cousin, and so we are going down there for Thanksgiving, so I'm glad that we were able to go for a second trip. I met people, like I realized I have an uncle that I didn't even know existed. So it was a good trip. So that is a positive. What else is a positive? I picked a planner that I like. That's a positive. I found a monitor stand for my other desk so I can move my MacBook over there. I'm going to try to do some live streams for my Jolly Fit Elf channel. Okay, that's it. That's all the good stuff. So let's talk about the heavy stuff. So we're talking about disordered eating, we're talking about self-harm, we're talking about all of it today. And I'm not kidding when I say that this video is going to be a little heavy. It may also be a little bit repetitive because my memory is S-H-O-T. I literally forgot how to spell my last name the other day, and I've had it for almost 14 years. So my brain is overworked, overloaded, etc. So let's start with the genetic testing. So if you missed it, I had genetic testing done and I have the results. And I scheduled an appointment with the immunologist and I scheduled an appointment with the neurologist, and both of them were basically canceled. So the immunologist one pissed me off because they'd already called and asked me if I would move it an hour later, which fucked up Rob's work schedule, but I said yes. And then we're halfway there and they're calling like, he needs to cancel the procedure. His wife's procedure ran late. And I'm like, what kind of husband are you to schedule patients on a day that your wife has a procedure? And to me, I know it could be something simple, etc. But it's like, even if it's not him taking care of her, it's like, you're in the medical industry. Surely you know how this works. I'm drinking some iced tea, decaf iced tea. I like the Louisiana, but I got a box of the greater value to try. I'm giving up soda. It's going to happen. Okay, so that got canceled. And so on the following Tuesday, I had an appointment with the neurologist. Now, you guys know, if you've been with me for the last couple of years, I've bitched and moaned about UT Southwestern and their neurology clinic. And I'm going to continue to bitch and moan about the UT Southwestern neurology clinic. So we get there. On the way there, I got a call from a private number. Didn't answer it because it said private. And I'm like, well, I'm not expecting a phone call. They don't leave a message. So we get to UT Southwestern and I'm checked in and I'm sitting there and somebody comes up and she's like, oh, Miss Misty, so-and-so, and I don't remember her name. The nurse practitioner said she tried to call you and leave a message. She's out sick today. And I said, huh, okay. And she's like, we can reschedule for later in the week. I was like, I can't reschedule. I said, this week is packed full. She's like, well, you can wait till 10 and see this other doctor. And I said, no. I said, nuh-uh, no, I will never see her ever in my life. You can put it on my chart that I will not see her. She's like, okay. I was like, yeah, no. She said, well, the other option is we can get you in a room and you can do a televisit with her. And I was like, okay, we'll try that. I was dumb. It was dumb on her part, dumb on me part. She was so sick. She was sick. Her kids were homesick with her. One of them was having a meltdown. She hadn't seen my record. She hadn't seen the results. She had no idea why I was seeing her and not the other doctor. She basically had to talk to him. And I was like, well, can you at least refer me to an immunologist? I said, and she was like, well, I'll have to look, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. So that was 2 weeks ago. Was that 2 weeks ago? I'm going to be pissed off if that was 2 weeks ago. September. Hey friends, I have a little bit of update. It's about 6:30. I sent a letter through our app that says, "Hi there, tomorrow will be 2 weeks since my initial appointment. I did schedule with the immunologist. Thank you for your referral. I know you mentioned speaking with the doctor and hopefully you have had an opportunity to look over the genetic testing. At this point, I need to know if you will be treating me or if I need to find a different neurology clinic. It's been almost 2 years without any sort of medical intervention and I'm physically and emotionally exhausted. Both doctors said that they had no explanation for my symptoms and that there was nothing that they could do. I've done the legwork to figure out what's wrong and now I'd like some treatment. Thank you." So it was like 3:57 or whatever. I got a phone call that I missed and they didn't leave a message. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You didn't leave a message? So I'm done. I don't care what excuses they give me tomorrow. I'm done. I'm going to find somebody else. So if you're in DFW and you have a really good neurologist, I'm actually considering reaching out to the Muscular Dystrophy Association of Texas or of Dallas at least to see if they can help me find someone because I'm over it. I'm over it. How do you call yourself a teaching hospital and this is how you treat patients? I'm over it. We're 26, yeah. So she's like, he won't be in the office until Thursday. I'll talk to him and then we'll get back to you. So that's been 2 weeks, and I was told if I didn't hear anything by Monday to reach back out. But I got a referral from the immunologist, but I haven't heard anything else. And so today I'm going to let them know. I just want to know if you're going to treat me. If you're not going to treat me, I'm going to find somebody else who will because I am tired of this back and forth. I do not understand how you can be one of the largest neurology clinics in the nation and you have two doctors on staff and one of them is in clinic 1 day a week. Make it make sense. He had no appointments available until June or July. Why do you only have two and you have one that's only in clinic once a week? It doesn't make any goddamn sense. So maybe I'll just fuck them all the way. And if you go there and you get good care, I'm so happy for you, but I have had the worst care with them for the last 2 years and I'm really kind of over it. So I'm ready to cut them loose. They did get me a referral to the immunologist clinic there. The one doctor didn't have any openings till February and I was just like, it's like I don't want to wait that long. So I ended up getting an appointment, I think it's like December 27th or something, with a new doctor that's only been there a week, wasn't completely full up. So I have an appointment with them on the 27th. So initially I wasn't going to go back to the practice with the doctor that, was trying to schedule patients when his wife was having a procedure. And I called and I have an appointment with a different doctor. And that appointment I think is like next Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday probably. So guys, I don't know what the fuck. I honestly don't know. And I am so flippin' tired of having to fight for this. That's why I told Robin and what I told my therapist today is like, I did the work. You were the ones that said, well, it's probably a rare disease, but we don't know what. Well, I found out the what. Fucking treat it. Why is that so goddamn hard? You were treating me with IVIG and it was working. Put me back on IVIG. I'm not going to apologize for cussing because I'm fucking pissed. I got the answers. I did the work. I am the one that did that. Now you fix me because I've been broken now for almost 2 years. 2 fucking years. 2 fucking years I've dealt with this, trying to get answers, trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. I hand you on a silver platter what the fuck is wrong with me, and you're dragging your goddamn feet. Make a goddamn decision. Either cut me loose or treat me or something, but get it done. I am over it. So over it. I am over it. I am more over it. And it's like, I want to start this calendar year because I've already met my deductible. And the infusion was monthly. It was $15,000 a month just for the medicine. That doesn't count how many thousands of dollars I had to pay. Their insurance paid for the nurse. And we had to pay out of pocket $3,000 before we meet our deductible. And that's going to happen by January 30th, probably. So I'm just frustrated. I did the work. I'm literally handing you a diagnosis on a silver platter and you're giving me the fucking runaround. So I think I'm just going to have to just go somewhere else. This is probably a sign that I need to go somewhere else. And like I told Robin, like I told my therapist, like the only reason I went back is because I'm an established patient and I thought that would speed up the process. And clearly it's not going to speed up the process. My hair is going to fall. I'm sorry. I'm so hot. It's so hot. Fucking Texas in this weather. It's supposed to be like almost 90 today. We've had the windows open the past couple of days and it's been so nice. We had another fake fall. Okay, so that's been really heavy. My grandmother is still kicking. That's a weird way to say that, Misty. She hasn't passed away yet. Like, she hasn't lost her battle with cancer yet. So that is still lingering. And then just all the shit that happened in the month of September. And then last week I was sitting on the couch. Like, that day I was like, what is wrong with me? Because I was experiencing every emotion. I had rage for a while and I felt so flippin' sad for a while. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And then I remembered Friday, October the 13th, will be exactly 23 years since my grandmother died. She died October the 13th, 2000. And every flippin' year, the end of September, the 1st of October, I go through this really awful kind of emotional grieving thing. And it takes me several days to realize what is actually happening. It's like, Misty, this happens every year. Every year. How have you not figured out that this is going to happen every single year? So that was hard. And then, let's talk about the rest of it. Let me get this hair back up. I'm not kidding you. I'm hot as a motherfucker. I've said the F word a lot. I hope you guys clutched your pearls if you can't handle it. Ugh. And I don't have my fan on because it's loud. I'll use this little one to cool me down for a second. Okay, and I only have I have an hour before I have to take pictures. Okay. So I am on Tylenol 4 for pain medication. And unfortunately, it decreases the efficacy, is that the right word, of my antidepressant. And a pharmacist is like, you need to take it 6 to 8 hours apart, and that's impossible. It's impossible. So I was talking to my therapist today, and I was like, I don't know if I am in the right frame of mind to completely change my antidepressant, because clearly I'm depressed. Clearly the medicine is having an effect on the Wellbutrin. But I've had 3 or 4 pain pill days. Like I've had 3 or 4 pain pill days. So there's no way that I can take it 8 hours apart. So I need to call and move my appointment with my psychiatrist up, because he said that he can increase the dose if we needed it. And my therapist was like, he can also probably add on something to supplement without you having to change completely. And I'm like, okay, so I'll talk to him about that. And I told her, I said, I had kind of an epiphany this weekend. I had a self-realization or something this weekend. And I said, I am not emotionally eating. I am self-harming. So before I get into this, you can be healthy and you can be fat. It's a proven fact. Like, you can be healthy and you can be fat. Just because you're fat doesn't mean that you're going to get anything. I literally watched a documentary yesterday about the plague. If you guys didn't know, I love English tutor history or whatever. And this one woman, it was documented that she buried 6 children and her husband in a week, and she didn't contract the plague, which was very, 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 very rampant. Millions of people died. You know, if you were around someone, you were literally like considered dead. So they did a study, this whole village that they cut off from letting people in, and they would just drop off food, etc. So many people in this one village survived, and they realized that there's a gene, I don't remember which one it is, that prevented them from getting the plague. And then it cuts to this gay man whose partner died of AIDS when AIDS was very first kind of gaining traction here in the US, and he didn't contract it. We'll come to find out he had the exact same gene. So I know that the diet industry wants to scare you and make you think that if you're fat, you're automatically going to get sick. That's not how that happens. That's not how that works. You have to have a genetic predisposition. So when I talk about the way I'm eating is self-harm, it has nothing to do with the fact that it's making me gain weight, which it hasn't, which is what? It's all for the fact the way that I'm using food. So I don't remember what I was doing, but I was sitting on the couch or whatever, and I was just like, what am I punishing myself? Like, it popped in my head. It's like, Missy, you're punishing yourself. And I'm like, well, what am I punishing myself for? Like, what am I doing that would cause me to want to punish myself? Because it's not emotional eating. It's not emotional eating because it's not emotional eating. It's just not. It's not me like mindlessly eating or anything like that. It's me making the choice to put foods in my mouth that I know will make me hurt. So I struggle with inflammation. I have chronic inflammation, and carbohydrates, any carbohydrates, like bread, pasta, chips, etc., they cause me to have so much inflammation, and it causes me to be in so much pain. Yet over the past 10 months, I've spent 10 months like just hurting my body, hurting myself. And so my therapist and I were talking about it today, and I said, she's like, how did you come to this? And I said, I don't know. I said, I'm just sitting there, and I was like, okay, Misty, what are you punishing yourself over? Why are we doing this? Like, and I told her, I was like, it's no longer emotional eating. I said, this is self-harm. I was like, I feel like me putting the wrong foods in my body is just as bad as someone, who cuts or who scratches or who picks, etc. And so I don't know. I said, because I have the willpower. It's not a willpower issue. You guys been with me. I did a 21-day fast where I drank water every day and no food. It's not about willpower. It's about, why does my subconscious want my body to hurt? Because I've said before, it doesn't hurt anybody else. It hurts me. Well, it hurts Rob too, because I'm the cook and I'm the one that suggests, things, and he's the one that goes and gets it. So we really do enable each other. And I was like, we have to stop. 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 And I feel like it starts with me. It starts with me. So I don't know, like, I feel like it's going to be a while for us to unpack this, but I think I feel some guilt about, Rob eating poorly because I want to eat poorly. And she's like, well, maybe you're punishing yourself because your body is broken. And she didn't say broken, but that's kind of how it came across. And she's like, maybe subconsciously you're punishing yourself because your body doesn't work the way that it should, or your body doesn't work the way that you feel that it should. And I said, I honestly don't know. I said, but I feel like I got a hair or something on my chin. I said, I feel like that's the issue. I said, I don't feel like this is emotional eating. And maybe it is still a little bit of emotional eating, but this isn't using food as a crutch. This is using food as a weapon. I've weaponized food. I've weaponized it. Why? Right? Why? So that's been a struggle. And I have just been, like, my brother called me yesterday, and after 10 minutes, I said, I gotta go. I said, I am peopled out. I don't have the brain capacity. Trying to fight with these doctors and just everything that has happened the last 2 months, I am at my wit's end. Like, I am at the end of a very frayed rope. I've said that before, and I know we'll get over the hump, etc. But living in it, I feel like I've been in my brainstem the past 6, 8, 9, 10 months. I told her, I was like, it's been something every single month that you and I have been talking. And I think she and I either started talking at the end of January, 1st of February. She's like, yeah. She's like, it's been a heavy year. I'm like, yeah, and I'm over it. I'm over it. And so, and she's like, well, when you get this way, you're in a fuck it attitude. She's like, fuck it, I don't care. Fuck it, I don't care. And I was like, you're exactly right. Because I get to the point where I'm like, what is the point? What is the point? What is the point of staying alive if I'm just going to hurt and this is a progressive disease and it's not going to get better? What is the point of staying alive if I can't get the care that I need to make me feel better? Like, what's the point? And I think when I get to that point in my brain, that is the intersection where I'm weaponizing food. I don't think that I'm eating this way to unalive myself. Like, I don't think that's what this is. Like, I don't feel like it's to that extreme, but I do feel like I'm not using food as a crutch. I'm using it as a weapon, and I have to figure out why. I have to figure out why. So, told you it was going to be heavy. It's just been one thing after another, and I am just tired. Like, I am so fucking tired. I'm beyond tired. And it's just been real rough. And I feel like every time I get on here, it's like something worse has happened. And it's like, that's why I tried, oh my God, what the fuck? There is a hair or something. That's why I tried to start off with something a little positive, because, that stupid mascara. What? I'm not even crying. What the hell? Okay, so anyway, that's the real thing that happened in my life. So I came to that realization, and now it's just, she's like, I'm going to challenge you to be mindful about it. Like, and I said, I know it's not mindless emotional eating. I said, because we don't keep that stuff in the house. We don't keep chips or snacks and stuff like that around the house. We just don't. I mean, if I were to take you in my pantry, I have nut butter. I have moon cheese and macadamia nuts. I have that keto granola. I do have some cookies from Chipmunk Baking, but I think I need to let them go because I think they're over a year old. They keep sending me stuff for me to be an affiliate, and I just haven't stuck with it. The only thing I've stuck with is the Miss Mary's Apple Crisp. I have 5 of them in my closet or in the pantry. You'd see that. I have like a snow cone syrup, but there's no chips. There's no candy. There's nothing. Like, we may have a box of lasagna, but that's really it. It's not like I'm going into the pantry or into the refrigerator and eating just mindlessly. That's not what this is. But I really don't feel like I'm using food as a crutch. I feel like I'm using it as a weapon against myself. So, I don't know. And I told her, I said, I feel awful because I'm at the point where I'm turtling. You guys have heard me say that before, where I'm just like kind of going in my shell, just trying not to be a burden. That's what it boils down to. I don't want to feel like a burden. You guys have heard me say that over and over and over and over again. And when I'm like this, I feel like a burden. So the last, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 13 weeks, my lower back the nerve pain in my lower back has been unreal. And then a few days ago, it was in my rib cage, and I was like, God dang it. Because when it gets in my rib cage, when the nerve pain is in my rib cage, it causes me to have labored breathing, causes issues with my lungs. I mean, Rob took me to the emergency room one day because I thought I had pleurisy, because my lungs hurt to breathe, hurt to take a breath, and come to find out it was, I've a pinched nerve in my thoracic spine. So it's like that was acting up, and I was just like, can I just get one? Like, can I just have a week or something where I'm not having any pain? And I feel awful for Rob, because bless his heart, he's like, what can I do to help? I was like, the only thing that you can do is keep putting the lidocaine patches on for me, and just being patient with me when I have a rough pain day. I said, because it's just so hard to deal with. And when she and I were talking, she's like, Misty, she's like, the pain takes precedence over the depression meds. She's like, you have to stay on your pain meds. And I told her, I said, I don't want to increase my pain meds. I don't want to change pain meds. I think the only way to go is up, because I can't go down because Tylenol 3 did nothing. But I don't want to have to change pain meds because of the antidepressant, because and she said, and I didn't know this, she said physical pain and emotional pain are in the exact same spot in the brain. She said, so they affect each other. She's like, and I told her, I was like, I feel like I'm in a cycle of abuse of myself. So yeah, and I don't know what the matter is. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Why do I feel like I have to punish myself? Like, that's the question. Why? What's the why? Because I know that eating like that hurts my body. It hurts my body. Like right now I'm thinking about, oh, well, I have that box of lasagna. I could probably cut it up and cook it. And no, Misty, no. You can have an egg. You can have moon cheese and macadamia nuts. That's what Rob said. He's like, what are you eating today? I was like, I don't know, maybe an egg, moon cheese and macadamia nuts. I don't know, something. Because I have to detox. Yesterday we had donuts for breakfast, and then we had KFC for lunch, dinner, and then we had Brahms last night. So I've been eating like literal shit for the past 10 months. But I'm only 339. But like I told my therapist today, I said, I think part of the problem is I could be at like probably 190 right now if I just stuck with it instead of doing this cycle of losing and gaining the same 20 pounds. So I know what's the matter, clearly, now. And it's just a matter of trying to fix it. And I don't know. Because I don't know why. Like I don't know the why to work on it. So, but I'm going to do, the very best I can to not. And one thing that I've decided to do, I've been setting these monthly intentions and not sticking to them whatsoever. But the planner inserts I bought for next year have 3 or 4 monthly habit trackers on the front. And I thought that would be a good spot to track like whatever intentions I set, like if no soda days or no carb days or something like that. And that would be a good way to physically see my progress, because I am very physically minded or whatever. So I think I'm going to try that. I also want to sit down and do write out a morning routine and write out an evening routine, just to kind of get Atomic Habits is a book that my therapist recommended. I haven't read it yet, but she sent me some paperwork about it, and she's like, you're basically already doing that with, because I track if I make sure I brush my teeth and floss and, a shower day and those kinds of things. So I think I'm going to try that for sure. So we'll see how that goes. But I also want to get back to intermittent fasting, like having my coffee in the morning and then just eating later in the day. Or maybe, coffee in the morning and having lunch and then not eating until the next day. I need to play around and see what's really going to work well for my body. But I have to stick with it. I have to stop. I have to put a stop to it. And I am the only one that can do that. And hopefully, helping with the medication will help. I don't know, you guys. I just feel like I'm very lost. Very, 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 very lost. And, yeah. That's it. I cannot believe this mascara got all over my face. I'm pissed about it. I didn't even cry. I didn't even cry. So, yeah, guys, that's it. I don't know if I'll ever vlog again. I mean, I surely will, but not this week. Maybe next week when I feel a little bit better. So yeah, Friday is the anniversary of my grandmother's death, and that is still a hole that will never be full. And I think it's harder now. I haven't told you guys a lot about my relationship with my mother, but she hated me. And I know someone in the comments going to be like, mother can't hate their kid. Bullshit. I've said plenty of times, the biggest lie adults tell children is that their parents love them unconditionally, because that is not the truth. Maybe some parents, but not all parents. And when my grandmother was dying, my grandmother died of pancreatic cancer. And she had been in the hospital like my senior year of high school. We didn't know why. We just knew that she was having surgery. They didn't tell us why. Had no idea what the hell was going on with her. Just knew that she was having surgery. So in June 9th of 2000, I get a phone call at work. I worked in a daycare, 24-hour daycare. So I think I got in at 5. I worked around my school schedule, and I got a call from my mother. And I knew something had happened because, there's no other reason for her to call me at work. And she told me my uncle died. And I was like, okay, I'll, take the week off and get home. The minute I pulled into the driveway, she walks out and says to me, her cancer is back, she's dying. And I just immediately burst in tears because I had no idea that, like, it was completely out of left field and it was devastating. Like, I immediately started sobbing, and she looked at me in the eye and said, "You have no right to cry. She's my mother, not yours." And then she walked her happy little ass back in the house as if she hadn't just dropped an atomic bomb on me. And so I had been going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to move home. Like, I was just like, I don't know that I can, go to work and go to class with this looming, am I going to get a phone call? And luckily I was on summer break. So I called and unenrolled for the fall and moved home. And I can remember, my grandmother asking me if she should do chemo and radiation. And I told her, it's like, I said, this is your decision. I said, I can't tell you what to do. I said, but you have to decide if you want to spend, the next few months or however long you're going to live, super sick from chemo and radiation, or if you would rather just die naturally. So she chose not to do it, and she went real fast. But there was one day we were sitting and watching TV, and it was just her and I, and she just looked at me and she said, "I'm sorry." And I said, "What are you sorry for?" She's like, "I'm sorry I'm dying." It's like, "Why are you apologizing?" She said, "Because I know how she's going to be when I'm gone." She said, "I know how she's going to treat you when I'm gone." In probably 2011, 2012, I finally said, "Why do you hate me so much? Why? Why do you hate me?" She's like, "Because my mother loved you more than she loved me." And I said, "That's not my fault. I was a baby." And then went no contact. And that's actually made all of this genetic stuff a little harder because we don't know what side is the carrier. If it's, my mother's side or if it's my father's side. And unfortunately, I'm no contact with her. It has to be direct. So it has to be the mother or the father. Of course, my father's gone. So yeah, it's been rough. This month is always rough. So yeah. I told the therapist, I talked to one of my cousins, and he's basically been through the same thing I have with his back and stuff. And I said, that is the first time I've spoken to someone about nerve pain who actually knew what I was talking about. I said, I explained it to my pain management doctor, and she's like, they always ask about numbness, tingling, or whatever. And it's like, there are other types of nerve pain that are beyond those. And you guys never ask, and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. So talking to him was just another validation in this fucking health journey that I'm on. So, yeah. Anyway, I figured I would cry. I didn't realize I'd get so ragey. But I should not have to fight this hard. I've done all the work. I have done all the work for you. I have done your job. So, yeah. That's my headspace. That's my frame of mind. Yeah. So if you're struggling, maybe this video kind of helped you see what you're doing. Maybe hopefully this video wasn't triggering. That's why I try to tell you guys it's going to be heavy. My goal in my little routine that I'm hoping to develop is to have 5 or 6 minutes at the end of the day where I sit down and I write down what went well in the day, rather than what I'm grateful for, what went well, because I feel like what went well will just already be gratitude or whatever. And then, kind of document like what kind of pain day it was and what kind of like mental health day it was, mood day it was, and just kind of start the tracking that I told myself I was going to start in January and never did. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for being so supportive. Thank you for being here. Thank you for those of you who have been with me since 2017. thank you so much. I am trying my best. I am not even posting on my Misty channel. I'm doing my Jolly Fed Elf, holiday card series just because it brings me joy. And it's about one of the only things that's keeping me going. So if you're interested in Christmas card, I do have an Etsy shop. It's listed down below. I think I also put in the affiliate link or referral link for Miss Mary's Mixes. I can't remember how much a referral thing is, but you can also use the coupon code at home with Misty. I think it saved you 10%, but if you're going to buy a bundle, you save more money buying bundles. And I can vouch for that. They're not going to cause your insulin, like they're not going to cause a glucose spike. Some of the best tasting syrups I've ever had. Their bottles are small. Excuse me. That's my only complaint. But I've had that apple crisp one for a while now, and I've used it, and you only need a little bit of it. I've used it every single day, and I have probably one, maybe the rest of the week, and then I'll be done. So, I mean, it lasted a long time. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. Welcome to my world. Oy vey. The plus side is I think my hair is starting to grow back. I've been using this shampoo and conditioner that's supposed to help regrow hair. I do see my dermatologist next week, so I may ask them if there's something they suggest other than Rogaine. And yeah, so lots of things happening. I have lots of doctor appointments this month, per usual. I did push off my rhizotomy in my neck. I had the neck. Did I tell you guys that? I had the second set of facet injections in my neck that hurt like a motherfucker. I think we talked about it now that I said it. Or I didn't put that video. Anyway, it hurt. And the pain management doctor was like, this is weird. She's like, but the guy that was in here before you had the same procedure the same day at the same place. And he also said that it hurt worse this time than it did the last time. And I told her, I said, the only thing I can think of is that the nerve is irritated. And because I could feel the medicine going in the nerve. So I'm having a rhizotomy in my neck the first Friday in November, I think. And if you're unfamiliar, a rhizotomy is just a nerve ablation. So they basically go in and burn the nerve so it'll stop sending pain signals. It doesn't take away the pain. It just takes away the pain signals. I got a year out of my lower back. Now I'm getting about 3 weeks out of my lower back. I know it just means I need to have another surgery, but I'm putting it off. I want to be 250 or lighter before we do that. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. If you guys will just like light a candle, say a prayer, send guides, whatever you do, I would really appreciate it because yeah, the weather has been stupid. Hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. Well, not even cold. Like we've been hot. We're in the second week in October and we're still in the high 80s. No, weather, no. Oy vey. All right, friends, I'm gonna go wash my face and edit this video, but I love you guys. I'll talk to you real soon.